Okay, well, welcome back to Eye of the Storm. What's wrong with women? Well, women don't understand what consent is. Today, a woman says, ladies, sex you regret is not a rape, which is true, which is reasonable, but do reasonable? Do women understand reasonable? No, they do not. But it says, however, this person says, however, sex where you had to be convinced multiple times is rape. You are proving her point. You were convinced. You said no. You asked the guy to chase after you, right? Men don't chase anymore, right? Why men don't chase today like they used to? The shift in men's behavior towards chasing, emotional clarity, adaptation to speed. Nobody is going to point out the fact that women like this are convinced that where you apply pressure or you exert your intention, restate your purpose, they consider that to be rape. So here she believes she has triggered some people. The men are so upset, both being convinced after, being convinced after multiple no's is not consent. It's pressure, it's coercion that falls under sexual violence. I need men to understand this because just because I said yes after 2 hours of constantly saying no, and you constantly guilt tripping and begging and making me feel bad, makes it like I was really giving, men are delusional. Indulge me here, you're set to meet her at a place that she tells you she doesn't want to have you over because you might think that's an invitation for sex and she doesn't want to have sex. And you say, nah, that's not how it's going down. You get to her place and still trying to talk into having sex and she still keeps saying no basically all night. On the time for you to leave and you're not trying to leave, then it's late and eventually you all have sex. Yes, you didn't use violence, thank you. But you did see how that can emotionally damage to a person. Emotionally damaging. These two words are together an oxymoron that only a woman can conjure. The person did not want to have sex with you. However, due to guilt tripping, manipulation, and begging and convincing, this is whatever that the quality of sex you try and have. So here's kind of the issue. I've driven all the way around. You have led me on. I mean, the reason why you led me into your apartment is because the possibility does exist that there will be a sexual encounter, which is why we're talking in the first place, which is why, I mean, for women, you don't have to pressure them to accept flowers. You don't have to pressure them to accept money. They take that off you freely. So, I mean, we all know that the only reason men talk to women is for sex. There's no other reason for us to talk to each other. So dealing and interacting with men, as a woman, you understand that there will be some kind of sexual component, real or imagined, spoken or otherwise. So if you give a man your home address, if you invite him to your house, why are you inviting him to your house? If you have no interest in sleeping with a man, he should not know where you live. And I'm not saying that, your carpenter has the right, or electrician has the right to come and rape you. I'm saying, the guy you're talking to, and you have no intention of sleeping with him, you should always meet at a neutral place. And don't meet him at night. Always meet him for lunch or for some casual activity. If you're talking friend zone, don't let him take you to dinner. Don't let him take you to the airport. Don't let him come to your house at night. Like, these things used to be common sense. But of course, he will do his best to chase. And he says, women now are writing think pieces about he stopped chasing. You meet a guy, there's mutual interest in pursuing you, everything feels great. Then you start to let your guard down and let him in. He seems to step back and stop pursuing you. Then you go and write a story about it. What's your name? Sabrina Bendery. Let's see who you are. She's not bad. A little bit Jewish, but not bad. This guy, he's super into you and goes all out to pursue you. You decide to give him a chance. I start really liking him, but now he doesn't seem as into it and isn't chasing you like before. Now you feel like a complete fool. What happened? The good news, it's possible that nothing is wrong and you're creating this drama in your head. There are reasons why a guy might stop chasing after you. Why must women be chased? Why do we have to chase women? What does chasing mean? Doesn't chasing mean pressure? Doesn't chasing mean constant, consistent barrage? Isn't that what chasing means? So do women want to be chased or do they not? That is the question. Okay, so real reason why he stopped chasing, he caught you. The most obvious reason that he caught you, your hopes invested in it. Guys don't chase things they don't think they have to chase. The chase is not sustainable, and the real relationship cannot be built on one person constantly pursuing the other. Okay, the initial pursuit is exciting, but it's just a means and not a destination. And I feel more comfortable with you, and is now settling into a more normal, sustainable routine. This is good news, as it means you are moving to the next phase in the relationship where things become more real. However, avoid going all in too quickly, especially if you haven't established what you are yet. You're too invested, he's losing interest, you're unconnected with him, treating him like a prize. Advice on having a guy chase you or chase you again. Oh, fuck this bitch. I have a headache just from reading that. Anyways, that's the answer to this question. Women like being chased or they don't like being chased. Men don't chase anymore. Women have a problem with it. You can't win, literally. Shout out to Coach Greg Adam. All right. So this is a post, very long post about birth rates. And it says we will need 2.7 kids per woman to avoid extinction. Of course, women are, against this because that is the point of women. The point of women is to destroy the world. And the point of men is to create and to maintain and improve the world. The reason why humanity is being destroyed is because women have gotten power. Women have gotten power and autonomy over themselves, over their own bodies. So now they're deciding actively to destroy the world. This is not a conspiracy theory. We've seen this in the German parliament. We've seen it in many different places where women have taken power. They want to destroy their societies. That's just the truth. I'm not being sensationalist. I'm telling you what is happening. You just need to look for it. You will find it. So I did a very interesting video where I broke down the 4 things to do to save humanity from extinction. The final solution to demographic decline, repopulate the earth. Let's see what this is. This is extinction. Okay. To avoid extinction. So basically, in this video, I said how to end the demographic decline in 4 easy steps. Step 1, ban girl-child education. It's 48 minutes. I tend to make my points over and over and over again in different ways, so my videos tended to be long in those days. Anyway, 1, end girl-child education. 2, end pornography. 3, end women's rights. By women's rights, I mean reproductive rights. Right to abort, right to divorce, right to all those rights, all those female rights that they have, end those. Pornography ended, female education ended. Female education is actually the most important to end because many studies have shown that the more a woman is educated, the less likely she is to have children. And if she gets educated even more, she's less likely to even want children. So school is a way to brainwash women out of having children. The women who least want to have children are the ones who are the most educated. There's a direct correlation between a woman's education and her attitude towards having children. So if you get a girl, she's more likely to not want to have children. So you have to ban that because 1 and 3 are linked. 1 and 3 are linked, 2 and 4 are linked. So the 4th one is to ban all forms of contraceptive pills and ban the pill, ban all those things. Because 1, they're kind of poison and very cancerous and carcinogenic. But let's see if I said something early on. Some of the women simply fell in love and married their German beau. I'll go back to the Eye of the Storm where we reviewed it later. Oh yeah, we're talking about Korea because Korea is such a wonderful case study. Shout out to Daily Stormer. Miss you guys. But 60% of households predicted to be childless within 30 years. Korea is a hotbed for the Me Too movement. You can see the women are already not wearing bras. Pornography, like I said. And I think the government brought out like $26 billion for women to have children. And, if you had children, you get a car. You stay married, you get tax breaks. And women rejected it soundly. Why? Because they had the right to. Women's right is the number 1 predictor for demographic decline. The more rights your women have, the more likely you are to be destroyed as a society. That's just the truth. That's exactly what's happening in Europe. Countries which don't have women's rights are not facing a demographic problem. That's a reality. So let's look at this long post and see if they are able to hit the nail on the head on the issue. Birth rates are dangerously low in all Western countries, as I said, because when women are told that all they're good for is having children, oh, this is a woman. So this is a woman speaking against This is a woman speaking against this plea for help. Let's not destroy the world. So the woman has written a think piece on why women do want to destroy the world. So let's listen. We have to pay attention to a woman. God help us all, right? Okay. Birth rates are dangerously low in all Western countries because when women are told all they're good for is having children, but that having children doesn't make them important, they simply opt out. Now, this statement, just as women and their father Satan, it's a lie, right? And the funny thing is that she specifies Western countries. Western countries have given women the most freedom. England, America, Germany, Switzerland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark. Western countries, even Japan, essentially is a Western country. They've given women the ability to work, the ability to read, the ability to vote, the ability to run for office, the ability to run companies, and the reward that these societies get for empowering their women is destruction. And here you have a woman. Here you have a woman praising it, agreeing with it, and specifying it to Western countries. This is why you don't let women talk. You don't let women into your society, into the halls of power, because once they do, the only thing they want to do is to destroy you for it. What was that in the Bible? Oh my God. Let's see. What was it? It was an Isaiah song. Yeah, Isaiah 3:12. Isaiah 3:12. This is what is happening. Youths oppress my people and women rule over them. They will turn you from the path. Right there. Right fucking there. As my people, children are their oppressors and women rule over them. They which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of their path. Literally. As soon as you put women in these positions, all you can expect is destruction. That's all that's going to happen. So women are told that they must reproduce to benefit society because, but also that they're ugly, useless, and ready to be discarded by the time they reach 40. That's just not true. They're telling me that people don't value mothers. They're telling me that we don't stop the world every day for Mother's Day. Nobody even knows when Father's Day is. Okay, women are told to take on the overwhelming majority of work in the home. What work do you do in the home? You clean, you cook, you wash the dishes, you do the laundry. Now, 50% of those things I mentioned can be done by a machine, which most women demand anyway, which many women receive as wedding gifts anyway, which women in developing countries hire other women to do anyway. Women are told to take on the overwhelming majority of work in the home, sacrifice the most to care for the family, and let their husbands excel in their careers. You see? It's about jealousy. That's what it's about. So they are willing to destroy the world because of their envy of men. Let their husbands excel in their career. So your preference is that your husband does not excel in his career? Your preference is that your children are raised by communists to hate you and hate your country and destroy the world. Your preference is to give birth to a child and send the child to a daycare from the age of 90 days so that you can make sure that you don't exceed your maternal leave. But it's all about if their husbands don't treat them well enough to keep them, then they're a burden to society and the same nothing as a result. Women see all of these talking points every time they open social media or scroll on the timeline. Even women who sought a more traditional dynamic are being turned off and reconsidering their desire when they see how men talk about them. So the problem is that men are saying mean things about women. A man said something mean to me on Instagram. Let's destroy the world. What's the saying? Hell hath no fury. Hell hath no fury. Woman's scorn. Why? Why is a woman's fury being compared to hellfire and Satan? Why? So the only thing that can match the fires of hell is a woman's feeling. 1697, more than 500 years ago. Think about that. Think about that when you're voting a woman into power, when a woman is coming out in your country and running for president. Hell hath no fury like a woman's home. We are comparing women's wrath to that of Satan because they are from the same origin. It's the same thing. It's the secret behind the statement. This is Satanism. All this. Men asking for stay-at-home wives and mothers, while also saying that her contribution and sacrifice is so minimal to the point of being worthless is abhorrent. Now, you can see how strong these words are. She's trying to play a victim, but she's not telling the truth, so it rings so hollow. Women know that having a ready children is going to be hard, but they'll be living their lives in servitude. 80% of all custody is given to women. If you get custody, you get child support. So you can raise a child with money that you don't earn yourself. So you don't actually have to work, per se. If you have a man, if you get a man to impregnate you, you will be compensated for your work, quote unquote. That is what child support is. Somebody is paying for the ability for you to raise your child. But women don't even want to do that. What did we say about Korea? We said the same thing about Korea, did we not? Look, South Korea's demographic crisis has deepened with the release of data showing its birth rate, already the world's lowest in the world, fell to a new record low in 2023, despite billions of dollars in government schemes designed to persuade families to have more children. But this is their preference. Their preference is to destroy you. What's wrong with women? Episode 23, they want to destroy you. This is what I want right here. Destruction. Okay, women know that they will live their lives in servitude, and the majority of women are happy to do it, but not for men who tell them that it's all they're good for. That's the Taliban. You're talking about the Taliban. You're talking about Al-Qaeda. That's who you're talking about. Nobody talks like that in the West. Not anymore. The only person who even says something remotely close to that is Andrew Tate. That's one guy, one person. And he goes viral for that because what he's saying is so unheard of. It's completely out of the current frame of discussion that he goes viral and attracts negative attention. He goes to jail for saying these things, basically. Not for men who tell them that once they're done having children, they're used up, that if the marriage doesn't work out, then everything belongs to him. Is that true? You see the problem? As I said, women truly, their desire is to destroy you. But they come out and they try to rationalize their satanic, demonic fury. So it doesn't even make sense. What she's saying is not congruent with reality. Not for men who tell them that once they're done having children, they're used up, that if the marriage doesn't work out, then everything belongs to him. Is that the reality? Is that the reality? Do most divorces not end up with a man losing his house, losing his cars, losing his company? How much did Jeff Bezos give his stupid wife? The top richest women in the world got that way from divorce. So everything belongs to him is not true. It's not true. And that doing all of this still doesn't make her important. Despite pleas for women to start having children again, women do not want to have children with men who don't value them. So okay. In a world that doesn't value mothers, why tell women that that's what they're good for, reiterating that doing so still doesn't make women important, women won't become mothers. We're going to fix the birth rates, start by treating women and motherhood with the value and respect deserved. I noticed that this woman, I want to check how many words she wrote. I need to give you guys the full context. What this woman said in, how many words do we have there? I have to count the words for you guys. What this woman said in 344 words could have been said in 20. Right? Because a lot of it was just lies and she repeated herself a lot. But this is what she's saying. She's saying that women don't want to have children for men because they want to do other things, like having a career like men. That's it. That's all she wants. So all this stuff, that's all she's saying, but she's surrounded with so many lies because, like her father, the devil, cannot help yourself. As I said, the solution is very simple. Number one, ban girl child education. They shouldn't even be on the internet. Women should be on. Ban pornography. As I said, it follows. Pornography. A woman being on the internet itself is pornography. right? Just a woman being online is pornography. Think about it. Abortion, all those things. Get rid of all that. So basically, it's about taking away women's rights. Those things that we call them, we get rid of them. They don't exist anymore. And yeah, if you want to solve demographic decline, that's it. That's how you do it. It's very easy. I mean, check out this video. It's on the channel. It's called The Final Solution. Just search for that. The final solution to avoid extinction, repopulate the earth. I always stop episode 6. Yeah, it's a classic video. Anyway, give a like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Out.
After centuries of sleep, of nothingness, I have returned. Something comes back to me. I was great once. Feared. Yes, so weak now. Must find blood. Once I was strong. Powerful beyond measure, beyond imagining. Gabriel, woman!
I invoke the ancient pact of Viking. Once more, the wicked stand before us, threatening the sacred communion between your realm and mine.
We have been here before. We watch your petty world slumbering. You cannot defy the cold of our steel. You can only surrender.
I saw a long ship made of the claws of dead men. The wraiths drove everyone to the shore. My daughter too. No man who meets the hunt returns to this world. I returned.